Welcome back to the channel. It's really grim and dark outside, so I thought this might be a perfect opportunity to talk about something that a lot of people maybe just assume, and that is seasonal depression. And when you look at this gray weather, people just assume that this will affect you. And I'm going to show you something cool here, by the way. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a lot of, I think, deers or stags or something out there. Quite cool, actually. That's why I'm not talking very loud. I'm hoping that I won't scare them away. They are starting to look in my direction, so it might not work. Anyway, seasonal depression. Well, of course it's true, you would say. Actually, if you look at the science behind it, it is a controversial topic. There is actually a lot of argument that it doesn't really exist, that it's just a cause and correlation that people make that's not true. It is less to do with the weather and maybe more to do with just expectations and other random things in your life that are maybe sometimes seasonal. People going back to work after a summer break and holidays and so on, and that can affect people. My opinion is, because I don't know, is that I have experienced, to some extent, being more depressed at times where, it's been darker weather. But I think it is a psychological thing more than any actual biological response to anything, because I think it might have to do with expectations. You are indoors more, for sure, and you kind of miss out on just being out and getting fresh air. I live in the south of Sweden, so it's still actually doesn't get completely dark during the day as it does further up north, and we're approaching the darkest time of the year. It's around December 20th, winter solstice, when of course it becomes really dark. And in the northern part of Sweden, many places up there, that's actually on the same latitude as I believe northern Canada. A lot warmer weather because of the Gulf Stream, but it is very far up north. And it is completely dark there, way up north, for about a month. Not completely. I'm lying. You can still see light coming from the horizon, but the sun is basically away all the time. That is, some people find it cool, some people find it distressing. I find it annoying. I wouldn't want to live there. I want days, I want nights, and sure, some variation is okay. I mean, it's what is it now when I'm recording this? 3 p.m. and I know the sun is going to go, well, if there was a sun, there is no sun. Imagine the sun today. It would go below the horizon and set at around a little bit after 4 p.m. here. And then it becomes evening and nighttime, slowly. And that's okay. I don't want any shorter day than that. That would be just annoying. So I'm going to This year, I don't think I'm being affected at all by anything, because I think my life has changed quite rapidly. And I noticed this last year as well. Last winter, because it's about 1 year and 6 months now since I got my diagnosis, and ever since then things have just changed, and seasonal depressions doesn't seem to be a thing for me anymore, which is just one of the aspects that I'm questioning that they exist. A part of me I question it. I think, and this is me just guessing, mind you, it's just me guessing, that it's, if anything, is a seasonal psychological phenomena more than an actual onset of real depression because of the darkness. If there is a biological function, it could have to do more with people having vitamin deficiency. I mean, people up here in the north, we tend to really skip out on vitamin D's more than we should. As far as I know and have read, it is something that people in general up here in the dark north should make sure to eat more of. And especially if there is light outside, go out and make sure you get those rays of sun on you. Very important during this time. And I think that is more relevant, for sure. But it's just my opinion. I don't know. I could have sworn a couple of years ago that there were seasonal depressions. I clearly noticed me getting a lot more depressed during the winter half of the year, especially, and we're not there yet, especially in January and February, which are generally just dark and just a long wait for the first real signs of spring, which comes, good years, it comes around early March where I live. You will start getting more light for sure, and the first flowers and so on. Snow, we don't actually have snow here, not always. For sure, I recorded the video once when it snowed back in November. We do get snow, but it's not the guaranteed thing here. So it's not actually as simple as saying Sweden is an Arctic country with a lot of snow. The north is, yeah, sure. The climate where I live it's more like northern France or something like that. England. I mean, it's rainy and temperate. And yeah, it's paradoxically, some people would argue that it's darker here where I live than it is in the north of Sweden, because in the north you are guaranteed a lot of snow. There's going to be, up to like 5-6 feet of snow there soon. At least can get to that amount. Well, while down here, well, we get snow of course, but it usually just melts away and it lasts maybe a couple of weeks. Often in January, that's the most safe spot for snow. So that paradoxically makes my region a darker region than up north, because snow is white and white reflects light, and in many ways it gets a lot gloomier down here. Those of you who are a bit acquainted with TV shows and crime and stuff like that has probably heard the expression Scandinavian noir. It is crime TV shows and so on that are using this setting, this gloomy, dark and gray setting for crime shows. because it's very effective. We do it ourselves. A lot of these TV shows are recorded either during this season when it is a bit dark and gloomy, or they are recorded with some form of filter, just making it look a little more blue or brown in the tone. TV shows do a lot of magic in creating atmospheres that don't exist. Not in real life. I mean, we've all seen movies where it's sunny and summertime in the United States, and then they fade over to Moscow and we got snow. That always cracks me up. Like that was even remotely true. Anyways, does the darkness affect people? A lot of people, they swear it does. And I'm on the fence these days of not knowing what is true. I think I'm going to leave it as something that is complicated. I think there could be some truth to it, and it's probably a connection between vitamin deficiencies and not getting enough sunlight. But I think it is more about expectations. It is a proof of humans being very much capable of affecting of how we feel, and because of expectations. Now, I know it's a bit of a controversy thinking so, but this is what the science says. It says that it's complicated. It says that it's maybe not even true. And I'm willing to actually consider the possibility that seasonal depression might be an at least very complicated subject, and nothing you just should wave around and just say, well, it's because it's November you're feeling bad. Is it though? Is it though? Could be. It could be. But why? Why? That's the question that a lot of people should ask themselves. Why are you feeling depressed in November? Could be reasons that you are not, well, considering. And yeah. So, anyhow, I'm doing okay. It's been a lot of shit going on. So what I'm saying I'm doing okay is actually a big lie, because there's been a lot of shit happening in my life that has nothing to do with borderline. And my borderline is probably making me handling it a lot worse than a normal person would. I've been facing a scam where someone stole my identity and bought a lot of shit, and I've been struggling in getting my case heard with the company that is making this claim. They have not been very helpful, and so on. And this has been really stressing, because I'm in the last days of my time of practice, work practice, and yeah, I could have used the focus for just keeping my head above the water for that without this happening, because it has been, as you know, followers of this channel, a lot of stress for me. A lot of stress. And I'm looking so much forward for this week to end, because when it ends, my time at this workplace is over, and I think that will do wonders for my stress levels. So, could be that very reason why I'm not really feeling any form of effect from this dark and gloomy weather. Could be the very reason that is a lot of other things overshadowing this completely. But I've also, as I just pointed out, I also looked what the sign said, and it is divided on it. So, what's your experience? And if you feel that, of course, there is seasonal depression. I feel it all the time. Have you considered that it could be an expectation? And how does the notion of this make you feel? Does it make you angry, maybe? Does it make you feel offended? It is something you are grasping onto that might not be true. And if it ain't true, then what is going on? What do you think? What's your theory on these things? Well, I was supposed to say I'm going inside before the sun sets, but I don't think it would matter a lot. It would just shift from a pale gray to a darker gray and then black. So, anyways, hope you're having a good time. And this is the Borderline Man signing off.